Hello everyone once again and welcome back to the Formula A World Championship. Welcome along to the Australian Grand Prix here in Melbourne, round number 3 of the championship. And with the season now in full swing, one question is on everyone's lips this weekend. Can Alexia Pernet add to her tally of 2 successive race wins and remain the only race winner of Formula A? She's giving us the best possible chance to start from pole position. Qualifying was thrown into complete chaos yesterday as the rainfall continuously throughout the session, leaving us some very interesting results. We'll look at those in a minute. Have a look at the track then. The Albert Park circuit have everyday sections of road circling Albert Park Lake. 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right, making up this 5.3 km circuit. The close proximity to the barriers makes spectacular racing, and it's looking likely that we're going to be exciting racing to be created in this third Grand Prix of the season. Without further ado now, let's have a look at your starting grid for the third round of the championship. It's Alexia Pernet on pole position, followed closely by Sophie Spear. Can Pernet take that third win of the season? Chloe Thomas starts third, and Joe Daly managed to take his career best finish in fourth without some more racing. Moving on to row number 5, it's row number 3, Mick Molan and Ramanal Hadre, then Scott Price and Lucas Paparoni, running around 1.5 to 1.7 seconds behind them. Row number 5, it's Liam Turton and Luigi Marchetta, 2 very big surprises making it into the top 10. William Evans and Rookie Rico tonight finally start somehow other than last place. Moving on now to row number 7, it's Eric Turner and Luca Gatto, who is my Sport Integrity. It's Milton Verve, who's done terrible qualifying, and Eduardo Melo of XCT Racing. But they definitely didn't have as bad a qualifying as the 2 Fireside cars. Nathan Daniel starts 17th and Sergio Mora 18th for Fireside, on finishing second after Mount Bahrain. Oscar Diaz is in 19th and Pascal Becker rounds out 26 seconds off pole position, then 6.5 seconds back. It's Max Schmidt in 21st and Bruno Cabral in last place in the fifth race. So the final preparations are complete and let's get down to the grid for the start. 22 cars, all prepared for the run down to the first corner here at the Albert Park circuit. Alexia Pernet on pole, trying to go for 3 race victories in a row. Abbey Grand Prix cars behind her, desperate to stop this run. 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and the leaders pull away from the start line. Pernet with an excellent start there. She'll move into the early lead. Or Sophie Sevilla try and go for a move into the first corner. She goes around the outside, and it's Sophie Sevilla, the Spaniard, taking over the lead. At turn 1, she pulls away. Here goes Joe Daly following her up into second place. Pernet has had a terrible start here. Terrible getaway from the French driver. She looks to the inside, but Joe Daly's defensive skills too good for the Frenchwoman at this point. Sevilla pulls away off the start. It's Joe Daly second, Alexia Pernet third, Ramanal Hadre in fourth, and Chloe Thomas has dropped back to fifth. Wow, what a start there. Sophie Sevilla got around the outside of the first corner, turning half a second into 1 second just like that. Incredible stuff from the Spaniard. She pulls away to the lead on the opening lap. Alexia Pernet has to use her skills to get past the Altamore car in front of her. She's got work to do though to catch Sevilla right away. I don't think I've seen a start like that in Australia in a long time. And Joe Daly still continuing to hold on to second, but going down in towards the next right-hander. That could be not for much longer, as Sevilla's almost pulled out 2 seconds now. What a start from the Spaniard. There goes Alexia Pernet looking to the outside as Chloe Thomas looks to defend from a Hadre. There's contact, and luckily neither one of them spin out. They're both holding position, no real damage done as Sevilla comes through the last 2 corners here to complete the first lap of this Grand Prix. Of course, the order has been shaken up big time since qualifying, and now here we go for what should be another exciting 11 laps of this racetrack. 1 minute 35.3 the first time. There goes Pernet into second now behind Sophie Sevilla, and just like that, Joe Daly's dream comes to an end of trying to take second place, and he must now focus on holding third place against his teammate Al Hadre. I believe he's still in fourth if we wait for the leaderboard to swing back round. By the looks of it from what I just saw there, yes, he is still in fourth. 4 seconds off the leader. But wow, we've got the yellow flag now for something, not quite sure what it is. It looks like William Evans is pulling over, and it looks like his race is over just like that. Wow, that was big, and that was quick too. It's taken a lap and a half for William Evans to go out of the race to a transmission failure. That's what race control tells me. You saw it there on the bottom of your screen. So with just like that, we are reduced to 21 runners but still nothing affecting the Spaniard out front in the Abbey Grand Prix car. That BMW engine doing its job as she continues to pull away. The gap was 2.5 seconds and now it's 2.6. Not much gain between the last sector and this one. But just like that, this race looks to be over within the first 2 laps. But I won't count anything out just yet. Joe Daly falling back now. El Hadre could provide a serious challenge for him. Going on to the next lap as Sevilla rounds the final corner for the second time to lead another lap of this race. Doing a very, very good job out front. 1 minute 30.6, the new fastest lap of the race. Now, that's a very good time for the drivers on track to try and beat. Because we've got a few drivers up front here with a decent chance of scoring points in this race. I believe Luigi Marchetta is still in the top 10, so yeah, happy for him now. But he's got 2 very good drivers breathing down his neck. He's got Milton Verve and he's got Sergio Arbeloa right there. These 2 will be looking to get back into the points as quickly as they can. Look at the run that these 2 get on Marchetta. The Italian has some serious defensive work ahead of him if he wants to stay in this thing. And Liam Turton running in 9th place, doing a very good job for himself at this point. He started there. Take a look at the positions gained and lost here. Sevilla and Pernet have lost game 1 and lost 1 respectively. Joe Daly and Ramon El Hadre have gained 1 and 2 places respectively. Then it's Chloe Thomas has lost 2, Mick Willan has lost 1, Lucas Feveroni has gained 1, and Scott Price has lost 1. Liam Turton here, we're focusing on him. He's doing a very impressive job right now, running P9 in a Thornton car that wasn't really expected to compete at any point during the season for points. But here he is now in that 9th position doing an exceptional job. Well, looks like durability will be his only real enemy today, provided that he can hold on to where he is. He's less than a second behind Scott Price, so he could try and close in on them. He could find himself in a very dangerous position to attack within a lap or 2. Marchetta still continuing to hold off Verve and Arbeloa. He's doing an exceptional job at that so far. Because we're only 3 laps into this thing as Sophie Sevilla starts lap 4. Alexia Pernet sets the fastest lap at 1 minute 30.4. Another good time for rivals to try and catch. And here is Luigi Marchetta. He's got Verve going down his inside, and just like that, the Morimoto falls out of the points. He looks to the inside though and thinks better of it, but loses a lot of time there to Sergio Arbeloa. It looks like he may just fall to P12 here. There goes Arbeloa to the inside, the fireside car with a driver behind the wheel that knows what he's doing. Sergio Arbeloa up into P10 and into the points paying positions for fireside. There's still a very good... Excuse me, sorry, no, he's in P11, my bad. Verve still is holding on to the last points paying spot. And Turton is slowing up here. He looks like he may have some kind of issue. Here comes Verve closing in. If he catches Turton, I guess Turton will be able to get past him, no issues. There he goes, sliding through. Bad luck for Arbeloa though, he's been caught behind him. And Marchetta could be in a space to attack, but not close enough. And Turton definitely has some kind of problem. Might be able to make it back round. I don't know, but that is really heartbreaking for the young Brit, who had a chance at a decent points finish today. This will move Marchetta back up to P11, and it could give him a good chance at a points finish if someone in front of him was to retire. But heartbreaking here for Liam Turton, who had his heart set on scoring points for Thornton, only his 3rd race in Formula A. But this is going to end those hopes. Nathan trying to get around Turton before Adolfo Melo catches up. And there's Pascal Becker running 17th on the other fireside. Fortunately for Turton, he's made his way to the pits. But still very unfortunate. Most likely this may send him a lap down. But his chances of points have virtually gone out of the window as he enters his pit box. In he comes there, you can see him in the distance getting a front wing change, just trying to fix that problem. He doesn't really need a tyre change, is right how it is in that regard. I think they might send him out on some new tyres should the situation demand it. Sophie Sevilla though still leading Alexia Pernet, trying to close that gap. We're getting that down to 2 seconds compared to the 2.5 it was. So Pernet doing a good job. Of course, her main aim today is to take her 3rd consecutive race victory, trying to extend that gap of on the race win track. Well, she's the only driver to win in Formula A, and that's something she wants to keep for as long as she possibly could. But it looks like Sophie Sevilla is in better position to do that than she is. As here comes Julia rounding the last corner now to begin lap number 6 of this Australian Grand Prix here in Melbourne. Albert Park Circuit having thrown up some early chaos. And this is Manuel Hadre running in P3. What's happened to Joe Daly? He's already fallen back to 6th. And he's got a whole train of cars behind him who are looking to try and potentially send him out the points. But the good news for him is some of these cars are around the same level that he is. Of course, the Dalton Moore out 76 and Jaguar RT cars were expected to compete for P4 in the Constructors' Championship according to the bookies and according to the pre-season report. But by the looks of it, right now Dalton Moore have the grip on that position as Milton Verve finds his way past Scott Price to take P8 away. And the Jaguar RT driver is now going to have a rear view mirror full of the Mexican of Sergio Arbeloa. He'll be looking to make a move as quickly as he possibly can. Not much in it between the two of them. Arbeloa looking. He's not going to look yet. Through the next corner they come, and down the straight he could have a very good chance here. Unless he goes for the outside, there's a chance that Price could shut him down. There goes the fireside car, but he's got his nose in there, but there he goes. Scott Price defends well, and he holds on to that position. And all this is disallowing Arbeloa from being able to get closer and closer to his rival Verve in front of him. He looks to the inside, and they come very close to blows. But fortunately, no contact there. The two Ferrari-powered cars continue to battle for position. As Verve finds his way around Lucas Favorani for the 7th position. Favorani could be under threat here from Price or Arbeloa in the next few laps. As we begin lap 7 now, we're now in the second half of the race. There's Manuel Hadre doing an incredible job here. He's running P3 for Dalton Moore, and it is still 2 seconds between him and Chloe Thomas. So he's doing a very, very good job, and that will allow him to gain a few places in the championship, hopefully for him. Of course, Dalton Moore, as we say, expects to be the best of the rest in the championship, and having their drivers up there will definitely help them with that cause. The gap up to 2.2 seconds now. Well, the first few races have been thought to be some form of procession, but this race has definitely been a bit different in that regard. We've seen a bit of overtaking. Pernet still continues trying to close that gap, and if we could have a late race battle for the lead, I think that would be greatly appreciated from all us fans. The gap was within a second at the last sector split. It's now back up to 1.1. Sophie Sevilla definitely knows what she's doing behind the wheel of that Avi Grand Prix machine. And like I said at the start of the race, the BMW engine in the back of that thing really doing its job. No match for the Mercedes power on this kind of circuit. Through the last couple of corners they come, and back towards the start-finish line. Pernet was still looking to close down. She's got 5 laps to reduce that gap as much as she can. The gap's still around the same, still 1.1 seconds. Manuel Hadre still holding on to 3rd place over his teammate Chloe Thomas, who's doing an impressive job herself, trying to close that gap down. So while one of the Abbey Grand Prix cars is trying to keep the lead, the other one's trying to defend it. The yellow flags are out briefly. Has there been a spin somewhere of some kind? Looking through the whole thing, nothing seems to be of much trouble. The gap's still 1.1 seconds between the two. It's around 6.5 seconds back to Manuel Hadre. Sergio Arbeloa passes Scott Price for 9th place, sending the Jaguar RT car almost out of the points. And look at that, his teammate Luca Gatto has just passed Luigi Marchetta for P11, and that could mean that Gatto could battle his teammate in the closing laps of this race. Sevilla still doing exactly what she needs to do, still defending that position. A very, very superb job in the league right now. There's Pascal Becker running P14, of course. He qualified near the back for this race. So he was looking to try and get into positions, potentially even get into the points. I mean, his teammate Arbeloa has managed it, but it's not looking likely he'll do so. And if Eduardo Melo and Oscar Diaz close in on him, then that could be trouble for him. That traffic Liam Turton the way there. And there's Rigo Tanaka running 13th, doing an exceptional job considering his machinery, keeping up with his teammate. Of course, there's quite a gap between them, but position-wise, top from 13th, not at all a bad finish from Morimoto, given their position. Of course, the late entries to the championship as Milton Verve sets a 1:29 fastest lap. He's definitely on the move. He's still in P7, and he's gained 8 positions during this race. Arvalo has gained 9. Of course, the majority of positions have remained the same as have gained and lost. Nick Land is back to where he started in P5. Chloe Thomas has trying to gain those places back. Manuel Hadre has gained 3 places. Sophie V has gained 1. Alexia Pernet has lost 1. Of course, Joe Daly's lost 2. And he'll be hoping not to lose a 3rd, as Arvalo has found his way around Lucas Favorani for P8 now. And Lucas Gatto continues to close in on Scott Price. Could Verve take P6 in the final laps of this race? It's looking increasingly likely that he'll do so. And Pernet closed down Sophie's Veal with just over 3 laps to go. It's looking less likely as the laps go by that she will take that lead away. Through the last corner they come. It looks close in that last corner, but realistically, the gap still remains about the same. Pernet really needs to find that extra bit of pace in the Apex car to have any chance to win this race. Or needs to hope that Sophie's Veal makes a mistake of some kind, which he hasn't really been known to do in these first 2 races. Of course, it is looking more and more likely that the battle will be between Abbey Grand Prix and Team Apex UK for the Constructors' Championship. Fireside haven't really produced the kind of racing we thought they would. And there goes Pascal Becker has spun. He has spun from P13, and his chance of taking points today look to be over. He's turning the car around now. We didn't actually get camera footage of what happened. I can only assume he made contact with one of the Ruiz cars, perhaps. But it looks like Becker is out of the running for points completely. He falls down to P20. Terrible, terrible luck there for Pascal Becker, who of course is up around P14, P13, and has had it cruelly snatched away from him by the looks of things. And that will not help in the championship, as he already has doubters. He has doubters against him at this point. Only 3 races into this season, not even a quarter of the way through, and there are people who are saying that he should do better from within the paddock, or he will be sidelined by a better driver due to the fact that Arvalo is performing so much better. If you look at Arvalo here, he's still running P8. The guy in front of him, Milton Verve, is looking to try and battle Joe Daly. No contact between them. Daly's still holding on, but 2 British drivers going at it for position, both in Mercedes-powered cars. 2 laps to go. That's all they have left to battle between them. This battle could be over by the time they reach turn 1. Right on board with Verve down the straight now. Here they come. Back towards the line. Verve pulling to the inside, and the Apex car is just simply that much better than the Delta Moore machine, and just like that he's up into P6. Another 8 points for Verve's tally. Of course, the retirement in Austria has definitely put him some way behind, and it does look like he may pass Pascal Becker in the standings, provided that he's down and stays in the points and that Becker doesn't get into the points, which of course there is no chance to happen at this point of the race. Nick Land doing an incredible job running P5 here. It's down to 3.3 seconds to him and Verve. Could Verve close down that gap? It looks unlikely, but we've seen this driver do great things in this race, and he could be capable of one more great move. Chloe Thomas still running P4 here. Manuel Hadre just over a lap away from a podium finish for Delta Moore, and Sophie Sevilla on course to take her first victory in Formula A, the first win for Abbey Grand Prix, and the first driver to take a win other than Alexia Pernet. Here she comes now, down the home straight once again to start her final lap. The gap's still now 1.2 seconds. Last lap for this Grand Prix. If she makes a mistake, there is still a very good chance that she loses this race. But Pernet has got to capitalise on that mistake, and there is a chance that she just gets closer and doesn't actually manage to make a move. But it's the Abbey Grand Prix car that's in control here, as she has been for the entirety of this race. Milton Verve still chasing down Mick Wallan. Chloe Thomas still chasing Manuel Hadre. Alexia Pernet still chasing Sophie Sevilla. The gap down to just 1 second now. Pernet will need to come alive in these last 2 seconds to have any chance of winning this race from here. Or like I said, relying on Sevilla to make a mistake, and of course she can't rely on anything. The driver as exceptional as the Spaniard in front of her. Through the chicane for the last time they come. Gap still 1 second as they come towards those last two right-handers. And here they come consecutively through the first one, and now through the second one as well. 2 corners away from victory now. It's looking all over. Team Apex and Alexia Pernet threw what they had at Sophie Sevilla, but in the end it hasn't been enough as the Abbey Grand Prix drive around to the final corner for Spain and for Abbey Grand Prix. Sophie Sevilla takes victory at the Australian Grand Prix. Our second new winner. Alexia Pernet comes home second, and keep the applause going for Mohamed Al Hadre, who finishes in incredible third place for Delta Moore Racing. And I can see that down here from my commentary box that the Delta Moore guys are going absolutely crazy in the pit lane, jumping around in absolute sheer elation as their driver finishes P3, the first Arab driver to stand on a Formula A podium. Mick Wallan holds on to P5, Milton Vervet unable to catch him. Below P7, Joe Daly heartbreaking day for him as he could have taken a podium with the start he had, but was simply unable to do so. And Scott Price managed to hold on for P10, beating his teammate Locogato to the finish line. But today belongs to Sophie Sevilla, the second new winner in Formula A. Well, that was a very exciting Australian Grand Prix. Without further ado, let's take a look at the final results from the race. Sophie Sevilla wins this thing, Alexia Pernet comes home second. It's the first podium from Mohamed Al Hadre, and it's Chloe Thomas, Mick Wallan, Milton Vervet, Sergio Arbeloa, Joe Daly, Lucas Favaroni and Scott Price rounding out your top 10. Of course, Liam Turton finishes a lap down, and William Evans retires from the race due to a transmission failure. The guys here at the Academy were making sure that doesn't happen again for the rest of the season, hopefully for them. Look at the Drivers' Championship. Pernet loses her lead slightly. Gap now down to 15 points between her and Sophie Sevilla after the win today. Arbeloa and Chloe Thomas tied for third place. It's Mohamed Al Hadre who's jumped up to 5th, ahead of Vervet and Becker, now on 27 points. Take a look at the Constructors' Championship. Abbey Grand Prix now take the lead of the championship, followed closely by Apex UK. They're just 4 points back, with Fireside still 3rd and Delta Moore still in 4th place. Well, that was a very exciting Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it just as much as I did, and I hope to see you guys next time for the next round of the championship, the Tuscan Grand Prix at Mugello. I'll see you guys then.